Hello, everyone. Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to Christmas in Arkham 2025. Once again, Jester is back on the channel to help us out as we start Christmas in Arkham with Group 1 in the Fate of the Elder Gods tournament. Jester, how are you doing this evening?
And so it begins, my friend, and so it begins. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I do appreciate it so much. Looking forward to doing this with you.
And this will be your first ever time playing Fate of the Elder Gods, as we were talking about in the green room.
Yeah, it's going to be a little challenging for me. I didn't get a chance to really sit down and play it as much as I was hoping to ahead of time. And so, unfortunately, this will be a learning experience for me, which can kind of be a bad thing. But we'll see how it goes.
It'll be a baptism by fire indeed. But here in the tournament, we wouldn't have it any other way. Before we get started, though, I did get a delivery in that I've been sitting on since yesterday that I was going to wait to unbox. It was actually from a gentleman off of Board Game Geek that I made a trade for. So I'm going to crack this open, and we'll see what we've got in here.
Okay, goodies.
That might
I
give
got
you
a few goodies in myself.
Yeah, I saw you were doing a few tear the shrinks on some of the stuff you've gotten in recently.
Yeah, and I got another package in tonight.
Yikes, you're quite busy on that front.
I'll tell you what, don't ever give me a free Prime membership around this time, because I will just go crazy with it.
That does not surprise me in the slightest. And ooh, let's see if I can get this out of the box. I wasn't expecting this to be this tight a fit. Come on. Hopefully without pulling the box. Oh, crap. There we go. Took me a little bit to get it out, but what we've got waiting for us. Yikes. Box is in pretty rough shape, but I kind of knew that coming in. Oh, for crying out loud. I'm going to have to deal with this later, but what we've got is a pretty beat up copy of A Touch of Evil, the Supernatural game by Flying Frog Productions. I'm not going to do anything with that right now because we've got more pressing business to get to than that tonight.
That's a good one for you. It's definitely a good story one.
Yeah. But
a lot of randomness to it too as well. So you're never sure who's going to be good and who's going to be evil. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hidden roll is normally something I'd bounce off of, but given that hidden roll usually comes with social deduction, but given that this is not actually a social deduction game,
not at all. Yep, you're going to find things that are going to allow you to investigate the history of people or add more cards to that person and give them a better chance of becoming the bad guy or a good guy or whoever. So you're going to learn probably half of them as you just play the game.
Well, I'm sure we will.
If you're lucky like me, like the first guy you turn over will be the bad guy, and then you'll know who he is right off the bat.
Knowing my relationship with Lady Luck, though, I'm not betting on that. Anyway, we've got more pressing business than singing the praises and talking about A Touch of Evil. What say we actually get to my screen and get down to business tonight? So leading off, coming out of the intro show for the tournament, we have got the namesake of the mythos himself in Cthulhu. His dark gift is The Stars Are Right. Move one of your cultists from the ceremony to any location. Then destroy all investigators or one cultist of each other cult at that location. So that's his dark gift, which, remember, I can only trigger that when I move over here to the ceremony. We've got the two fate pieces out, which I had to make a copy of. I'm controlling the darker fate piece. It starts at the other worlds. The investigators start at the streets of Arkham. As for our starting artifacts that we can get from the museum, we have the Crown of Carcosa, which you may roll two dice when rolling for temporary control. And if you roll double Greater Elder Sign, that's what that star is, become cursed and destroy the Crown of Carcosa. You let that zoom in a little bit, just so it's a little easier to read. And then we've got the Wizard's Grimoire. Your minimum hand size is 5. Remember, that can be powerful because at the end of your turn, that's what you draw up to. Then for our monsters, which Cthulhu is probably not going to touch, we've got the Bayaki, which is still upside down. And we've got the Shoggoth. I don't know why these all came in upside down. It's just the way the mod, I guess, is set up. As for starting spells, I've got a Dark Pact on a yellow, taking blue and white. Dark Pact lets me become cursed to prevent gaining all Elder Signs from a single source. Then we've got Shadow Walk on a blue, which takes 2 red and a white. At the end of my turn, I can sacrifice a cultist and become cursed to immediately take another turn. And Alhazred's Vengeance. When another cult takes an action that places at least 1 investigator on your lodge, they become cursed, aka movement fodder. But I think we are all set, as long as you've got no further questions before we get started. Do you?
No, I'm good. Yep, go ahead.
In that case, let's get started. Shadow Walk is a very good spell, but I like that Wizard's Grimoire even more. So I'm actually going to move over to the museum, which will put out a cultist and an investigator. And I'm not going to roll for temporary control because I do want the Wizard's Grimoire. As we established, that makes my minimum hand size 5. So we'll replace that with the silver key. I can exhaust it to move 1 cultist from any location, any one location to any other location where I have 1 or fewer cultists. And I can discard the silver key to move the fate piece to any other location. And what I've ruled with that for the solo game is that can be used to manipulate either fate piece. Then I do have the option of preparing a spell. I've got blue because that's the built-in astral symbol. Let me see if I can zoom in on that so you can see the board where each location has an astral symbol on it. So you can use that as part of preparing spells. I've got a blue and a yellow there, but I can't prepare anything. So I'm just going to draw up to my minimum hand size, which in this case is 5. Pick up a mind switch on a red, taking blue and green. Enlighten the Faithful, taking red, white, blue, and moving to yellow. And Cubes of Power, taking white and blue. As for the investigators, they're starting at the streets of Arkham. They're discarding a yellow or a white card to move over to the ceremony and placing an investigator out. As for my turn, let's see. I'm going to move to the Alhazred's Vengeance is basically crap, so that's movement fodder. I'm going to use that on a red to move over to the library. I'm going to do that to get more cards and get more cards, and more cards is more good. There's unfortunately nothing there that I can prepare right now. Do I want temporary control? I think I do, actually. So I'm going to roll a die. I need to get, let's see if the face is visible. Here it is. That's the face I'm looking for to get temporary control of the location, the Cthulhu. So we'll give this a roll.
So Cthulhu needs to roll Cthulhu.
Which he does not do. That's a lesser elder sign. So I don't get temporary control of the location, but I do get to draw 3 cards, and I can ready an additional spell using the same astral symbols that are there. Right now it's red and green there. So let's see what I draw for spells. I draw a command, which is a monster spell. Mind switch on a green, which lets me swap investigators. I use that to swap cultists. And Sign of the Brotherhood, taking blue, blue, green. Unfortunately, actually, I take that back. I don't have anything I can prepare here. So I'm just going to draw up.
How many property of Misogynic University relics are out to start with?
There's 2 artifacts out to start the game.
Okay.
And I just drew another mind switch taking green and white. At the ceremony, the investigators are discarding, I want those to be separate, are discarding a yellow to move back to the streets of Arkham, which puts out another investigator. And I would get raided immediately, but because I have no cultists in my lodge, I don't get raided. Now, from the library, what do I want to do here? That's green-white, which I could use to prepare a mind switch. So I think I will discard a green at the library to move down to the gathering. That'll put out a cultist and an investigator. I am going to roll for temporary control again. Which I will still not get. But that's okay because I'll gain 3 cultists back from the Abyss and send 1 from the Gathering up to the other worlds. Then with the green and yellow there, I am going to prepare the Mind Switch. Actually, what I want to do with that is I'm going to put the artifacts off to the side. I'll leave the spells up here. Now, I could immediately cast this. I do discard the white that's there since I used it as preparing a spell. I could cast it immediately, but I don't think I'm going to. So I will draw up on a yellow. I will find another Witch's Curse. Curse Occult. That's basically useless in solo. The investigators from the streets of Arkham will then discard a red to move over to the library. They'll place an investigator out. Now I have to be careful about going to the library, because now that the library is at 3 investigators, I do have to take them when I go there, but I don't get raided until the end of my turn if I have 5 on my lodge. Let's see. Then, actually, I am going to move over to... do I have a white I can use? No, but I have 2 yellows I can use, which I'll use the Witch's Curse and a Dark Pact, both of which are useless, to move over to the ceremony, which will let me place a cultist and an investigator. I'll roll for temporary control here just to give myself the option, which I still will not get. Then I get to trigger I get a gate card, and I get to trigger my dark gift, which in this case is I move a cultist from the ceremony to any other location, then destroy all cultists there. So I could use that to move over. I could use that if I need to move over to the library again. And I think I will do that. So I'll move a cultist from the ceremony to the library and destroy all of the investigators there. That being Cthulhu's Dark Gift. Then with white, blue, yellow, I don't have anything I can prepare there, so that will end my turn. Actually, before I do that, I am going to cast Mind Switch. So I'll take the cultist at the ceremony, swap it with the other worlds, bringing the other world cultist down, or the other world investigator down here, standing it back up. Then I will draw a card. That will be the end of my turn. On a green, I'll find a Confound. At the library, the investigators are discarding a white. They're trying to move to the ceremony, but because I'm at the ceremony already, they're moving to the other worlds, and Cthulhu will end up with his first curse. Remember, if he gets 5 curses, game ends, and he loses. Which will put a cultist back down at the other worlds. Let's see, back to my turn. Let's see, red, green, green, white. There is not much there at the library, but I would control the location outright if I wanted to go there. What else do we have with these artifacts? Yes, I think I will I'll use a command at the ceremony on a blue to move up to the museum. Placing a cultist and an investigator. I do have 3 cultists there, but I don't control the location outright because the investigators still have an equal number there. I have to have both at least 3. I have to have both at least 3 cultists on the location and more than any other cult, in this case, the investigators. So I will... I don't need temporary control of this. I'm deciding which one I want to roll for. I'm actually going to grab the Crown of Carcosa, because I can use that to roll 2 dice when rolling for temporary control. Then replacing that will be the Lamp of Alhazred. I discard this to roll 3 dice. For each Elder Sign I roll, gain an Elder Sign, then immediately take another turn. with blue, white, with blue, yellow, red. I don't have anything I'm preparing there, so that'll end my turn. On a red, I'll find Gate to the Past, taking blue, 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 white on a red. At the end of any other cult's turn, I may sacrifice 2 cultists from my lodge to take the current location's basic action. The investigators are discarding a white at the other worlds to move back to the ceremony, which will put another investigator out. Then I'm going to discard a... I got to decide what I want to do here. Obviously, I can't stay at the museum. So I think... Is there anywhere I want to prepare a spell right now? I don't think so. So I could actually move it. Actually, I take that back. I could move to the other world. So I think I will do that. I will discard. I'll actually use my gate card at the museum to move up to the other worlds. That'll put a cultist and an investigator out. Because I control the other worlds outright, I get the control action, which in this case is a control effect. So I get to roll 4 dice because I've got 4 cultists there. For each tentacle I roll, I sacrifice the cultists to the abyss. For each Cthulhu I roll, because I have control, they come back to the lodge. But for either tentacle or Cthulhu I roll, I advance 1 on Cthulhu's summon track. So, and the goal is to get all the way around the summon track. So let's see how this summon roll goes for Cthulhu. Okay, so that's 2 cultists going back into the abyss. Oop. 2, there we go. So those 2 go back to the abyss, and Cthulhu advances 2 on his summon track. Now, with red, white, blue, and a wild, I actually will use everything there to prepare and enlighten the faithful. At the end of my turn, I can move up to 3 of my cultists from any one location to any other location. I'll discard all of this because I used all of those to prepare the spell. Then I will draw back up. On a green, I'll find a transmogrify, taking a white and a yellow. Change any 1 rolled die to any face, become cursed. Then for the end of my turn, I am going to cast Enlighten the Faithful to move up to 3 cultists from any one location to any other. These 3 from the library are coming up to the other worlds. Oop, hold on. Just flip the 3 cultists upside down. There we go. At the ceremony, the investigators are discarding a green to move over to the gathering. Let's see. Then what do I want to do here? Let's see. I don't want to move to the ceremony because that's an automatic raid, although that would give me a gate card to work with. Let's see. Red, white, double green. I think I'm actually going to use I'm actually going to use 2 red at the other worlds. I'm going to use, what am I using? Oop. I'm using a Sign of the Brotherhood and a Mind Switch as a double, as basically a wild to move back over to the museum. I will end up with the 3 cultists in my lodge, but remember, I don't get raided until 5. Cultist and an investigator. I do control the location outright, so I could sweep the artifact display and then sacrifice up to 3 cultists from the museum, destroy 1 elder sign per. But I think I'm going to grab the silver key. I can use that to either move an investigator to any location, to any other location where I have 1 or fewer, or discard to move either fate piece. Replacing that will be the Chamber's Journal. As an exhaust, choose a location and roll a die. On a Cthulhu or a tentacle, add 1 investigator from your lodge to that location. On a greater elder sign, add 1 investigator from that location to your lodge. So that could be a dangerous play to take. I'm not going to sweep that clear with red, white, blue, wild. Let's see, red, white, blue, wild. I'm going to use the wild as a blue. Actually, no, it's the red, yellow, blue wild. It's a waste, but I'm going to use cubes. I'm going to prepare cubes of power. When I'm rolling, I can add 2 additional dice this turn. Everything goes away. And these get discarded. I'll draw 2 cards because my minimum hand size is 5. I'll find Confound on white, green, green, and an Ancient Stirring on triple green. The investigators at the gathering will discard a white to move back to the ceremony. Let's see. The question here is, I don't have enough cultists to go for it right now. So I think I will use Confound. Oh, that's bad because if I do that, I'm going to get raided. Let me double check what the Streets of Arkham does in the solo game, because it is different. Streets of Arkham. Return 2 investigators from your lodge back to the supply. Having control lets me sacrifice 1. Actually, that might be worthwhile. So at the museum, I'm going to use a yellow to move down to the Streets of Arkham, which will put a cultist and an investigator out. I'm not going to roll for temporary control because even getting 2 of these investigators off my lodge is a big help, because that means I'm not just vulnerable to a raid if I go to a particularly big location. Then with yellow, white, white, red, I'm not going to prepare anything there. So instead, I will draw back up, and I will find an Alter Fate, which takes a white and a yellow. I can either re-roll up to 3 of my dice once, or one of my dice up to 3 times. At the ceremony, the investigators will discard a green to move back over to the gathering. Let's see. What do I want to do here? I'm at the Streets of Arkham right now. That would be a 7 dice raid if I decide to go there. And I smell I'd be up to 6 cultists on the other worlds. I don't think that's worth the risk, though. The problem is I've got all green and all red, which is all garbage right now. The problem is a gate card is a very good thing to get right there. And I do get a cultist on the ceremony. I think we're going to risk it, though. So I'm going to use a Confound on a green and a Transmogrify, both green. I'm going to use those as 2 white. This is a very risky play because I'm relying a lot on luck here to move over to the ceremony. All of these will move over to my lodge, and I will get a pretty big raid coming my way. But I'm going to have to risk it here, which will put a cultist and an investigator out. I get a gate card, and I can trigger my Dark Gift, which will let me... I don't want temporary control because I'm going to move this cultist to the other worlds and then destroy the 2 investigators that are here. So I now have 6 cultists at the other worlds with 2 green, 2 blue, white, and yellow. 2 green, 2 blue, white, and yellow. I am going to prepare a gate to the past, which at the end of any other cult's turn, I can sacrifice 2 cultists from my lodge to take the current location's basic action. So I'll discard all of that. And then here's the dangerous part, because now my lodge is getting raided with 7 dice. So this could have either gone very haywire or I might have gotten away with 1. So in particular with the raid, I want to see Tentacles and Cthulhu's again. This time, if I roll that lesser Elder Sign, Cthulhu will gain an Elder Sign, but at least the investigator will leave. If I roll that, which is the greater Elder Sign, not only do I get the Elder Sign, but the investigator stays. So you can see, you're probably starting to see how raids can be very hazardous. So you've got to be very careful on when you take a raid. I will draw my cards once I get done with this raid. Technically, I think you draw first, but it won't impact anything. Okay, that could have gone a lot worse. Everybody leaves, but Cthulhu will end up with 2 Elder Signs, which I also need these cubes for that. There we go. So Cthulhu will get 2 Elder Signs, but all of the investigators leave the lodge. So that's at least something. Believe me, that could have gone a whole hell of a lot worse. Very easy.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Let's see. So I will draw 3 cards.
Think you got very lucky there.
I did get very lucky. No 2 ways about it. Which is called to curse a cult, enlighten the investigators. If they discard a monster token, that's basically garbage. And cubes of power. Roll 2 additional dice. The investigators will discard at the, where are they? They're at they're gathering right now, so they're discarding a green because they can't stay at the gathering. They're going to move to the other worlds and put an investigator back out. Now, what do I want to do here? Actually, now I could move over to the streets of Arkham and get rid of these 2 Elder Signs, and I think I will. So we'll do that. So we'll discard a yellow. I'll move to the streets of Arkham. I'll end up with these 3 investigators back in my lodge. I'll put a cultist out. Actually, that was pretty stupid because now I'm going to end up taking an Elder Sign penalty, but it's probably fine. So I'll gain, so I put the cultist out and the investigator. So I control the location outright. I will get to destroy these 2 Elder Signs, even though I'm going to get one of them back on my next turn. I could sacrifice, I believe is it 1 cultist from the, is it 1 cultist or 2? It's 1 from the location to remove an additional, oh, that's actually removing investigators. Never mind. That's still pretty helpful, though, because that will let me duck raids. So I will take those 2 off. Then, with yellow, 2 white, red, double green, I'm going to actually prepare an Alter Fate. I can have up to 3 spells prepared. Alter Fate says I can either reroll up to 3 of my dice once or 1 of my dice 3 times. So everything else goes away. I will draw 2 cards. And that will be the end of Cthulhu's turn. Another Transmogrify and a Rack. At the other worlds, the investigators are discarding a green to move back to the gathering, which will put another investigator out. Then I'm going to take I'm going to discard I'm going to discard a Witch's Curse of the Streets of Arkham to move over to the museum. I will get 2 cultists back from the Abyss. 1 will go on the location. The other will go to one will go to my lodge. The other will go to my location, but I will take a 1 Elder Sign penalty for that. I will take the, do I want either of these? Yeah, Cthulhu's going to take a little bit of a gamble here. He's going to take the Lamp of Alhazred. I can discard that to roll 3 dice. For each Elder Sign, I gain an Elder Sign. Then I immediately take another turn. The reason I wanted to go there, though, is I want the control action here. So I can discard and replace the artifact display, which reminds me I need to replace the existing display. The Shining Trapezahedron, which I had in my demo playthrough with Dagon on Sunday. Actually pretty useful, so I'm going to leave that. But I get to sacrifice up to 3 cultists from the museum, destroy 1 Elder Sign from any lodge for each one sacrificed this way. It'll be these 3, and Cthulhu will get rid of all 3 of these Elder Signs. Then with blue-yellow, he's not going to prepare anything there, so he will draw back up to 5. Finding an Ancient Stirring on a triple red. Actually, I'm going to see if I can move this discard pile out of the... Hold on, that green should have been there, it looks like. I want to try to get this discard pile out of the way a little bit. We're going to do that with it, I think. There we go. Still not as out of the way as I want it to be. We'll put it here. That'll work. Oh, look at that. They also fell to the default stack.
Yeah. They all stacked up real nice for you now.
Yes, they did. Where was I? Oh, yes. Over at the museum. The investigators, however, are at the gathering. They're discarding a red to move over to the library. Let's see, I'm going to be at 6, 7. So I'm relying very much on Lady Luck here. This could be this could be problematic, but you know what? No, I think Cthulhu is going to. Oh, I was going to take a gamble there, but I totally forgot about it. I definitely want to keep one of these ancient stirrings in hand, though. So I will move. The gathering just means an automatic raid is the problem here. These 2 blues are basically doing nothing for me, so I'll discard those to move. And I will move to... The problem is I've got to risk it because I need to get cultists back. Otherwise, I'm going to take another Elder Sign penalty. So I'm going to risk it here. So all 5 of these investigators come to my lodge. I'm going to get raided again. Cultist, Elder, a Cultist Investigator. I get 3 back from the lodge, or 3 back to the lodge, 3 back from the abyss to the lodge, and I'll move one of my... Actually, let's roll for temporary control, which I will not get, so I'll just move 1 into the other worlds. Let's see. Red, 2 green, white, 2 yellow. I've got full spells there, so I don't think we're doing anything there. Nope. I will draw 2 cards. And then Cthulhu is going to get raided. Call the Wicked Ones on a blue. And Cubes of Power on green, on red, taking blue, green. So I've got 6 investigators in my lodge. Excuse me. Let's see if Cthulhu gets lucky a second time. That's not quite as... Well, that's still pretty bad. So that's going to be 3 Elder Signs. And 1 investigator stays. So those 5 are going to go away. Let's see. I do have a way to move back to the museum if I need to. Unfortunately, actually, this might be fortunate-ish. The investigators at the library are discarding a green, trying to move back to the gathering. Once again, I'm there, so they move to the other worlds. Investigator and Cthulhu gets a second curse. So that's 2 curses for Cthulhu. I will then use Call of the Wicked Ones to move... Actually, I discard that at the gathering. So I can move over to the museum. Put a cultist and an investigator out. I control the location outright. Is that a must take? Take 1 or the top. Actually, I'm going to discard the silver key here to trigger its effect, which that'll let me move, and I can use that to move either fate piece to another location. I'm going to move theirs to the museum because I'm planning on taking a daring gamble with Cthulhu this turn. Let's see. What did I want to do here? So I will take the Shining Trapezohedron just because that's a useful artifact. And that'll be an enchanted cane to let me reroll one of my dice. Then I will sacrifice all 3 cultists there to destroy these 3 Elder Signs. And now here is where I'm going to start to... Well, the gamble is going to start playing out momentarily here. I don't have anything I can prepare there, so I'll draw back up to 5. On a yellow, I'll have to find Necessary Evil. Gain 2 Elder Signs or move down 1 on your summon track to destroy all curses. That could be very useful. But I'm going to pitch the Lamp of Alhazred. That'll let me roll 3 dice. For each Elder Sign, I gain an Elder Sign. Then I immediately take another turn. So let's re-roll our Cthulhus and our Tentacles. Whoa, looks like I'm going to re-roll those. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, so I do end up with 2 more Elder Signs, but Cthulhu will get to take another turn. Which I'll use my gate card at the museum to move up to the other worlds. That'll give me a cultist, and I'll put an investigator out. I control the location outright, so that will give me 8 dice to roll on trying to get progress on Cthulhu's summon track. And I'm going to use my cubes of power to add 2 more dice, so I'm rolling a total of 10 dice. I need at least 8 of these to be in some combination of Elders of Cthulhu and Tentacle. So let's see what happens here. I've also got an Alter Fate to back this up with. Whoa. Hold on. I think I saw what was starting to happen there. I had one of my dice starting to drift off the table.
Dice and Tabletop Simulator don't get along very well.
Clearly they don't. And that was actually a pretty terrible roll. So I'm going to use Alter Fate to re-roll 3 of my dice. So these 3. Gross. So 2 go back to the Abyss. And Cthulhu advances 2 on his summon track. That was not a good roll for Cthulhu. With double red, green, and a wild that I can use for anything, I am going to use an Ancient Stirring, using everything there, and then I'm immediately going to cast it. So that'll let me gain 1 on my summon track. I can sacrifice a cultist at the current location to gain another 1. So that'll advance Cthulhu 2 on his summon track. Then, since he prepared and cast a spell, I will draw back up. And that'll be the turn. On a white, getting a Sign of the Brotherhood. The investigators are at the library trying to discard a red to move to, so they can't stay at the library, so they're trying to move to the other worlds, except they can't, so they move to the streets of Arkham, which, because they tried to move into my location, Cthulhu will end up with his 3rd curse. And I'll immediately get raided with 1 die after I put an investigator out. That investigator should go to the streets of Arkham. That's a tentacle, so the investigator basically goes sayonara. Okay, so what am I doing now, besides praying for a miracle at this point, if I'm being perfectly honest? I think we're probably going back to the Gathering, as much as I don't really want to use this Ancient Stirring, but I do need to get cultists again. So I'm going to move to the Gathering, placing a cultist and an investigator. 3 back from the Abyss. Is everything making sense so far with Fate of the Elder Gods, by the way?
No, not really, but I mean, the gameplay, yes, but I mean, like, why you're doing certain things, we've got no idea.
Well, the reason I went to the Gathering there is because I had no cultists left in my lodge, and I would have taken an Elder Sign penalty if I took another action without cultists in my lodge. I'm also kind of playing this with the mindset.
What do you do in that case, like if the other guy is there, like at the green location, and you're trying to go to the green location?
You can't go to the green location while either fate piece is there. So if your fate piece is there, you can't stay there. If
the other guy was there, you couldn't have gone there, and you would basically have taken an Elder Sign.
Right. All right. So with green, red, I think that's going to be preparing another Cubes of Power, which will help because I do have green and blue there. Hopefully we'll get a much better roll than Cthulhu got last time. Then I will draw back up, finding a Power Surge and an Enlighten the Faithful. The investigators are then discarding a yellow, trying to move to the streets of Arkham, but they move to the other worlds instead, which will put another investigator out. From the ceremony to any location. Ooh, that could be broken. So I will use Enlighten the Faithful at the gathering on a white to move over to the ceremony. Cultist, Investigator. I don't want temporary control because I want to trigger his Dark Gift. So I'll get a gate card that I can use for movement anywhere, and then I'll trigger his Dark Gift. I will move this Investigator up to the other worlds, and then I will destroy every Investigator at the other worlds. And with white and yellow, I don't have anything to prepare there, so I will draw back up. Oop, just the one. I'll shuffle that one up. Shuffle that one back in. And I will be done for the turn. The Investigators catch a break on the mishap on the shuffle because they're trying to move to a green, or they're trying to move to a white back to the ceremony. So since they were at the other worlds, they'll go to the streets of Arkham, and Cthulhu will end up with his 4th curse, which is not good for him at all. Whenever the cult moves to the ceremony, he will exhaust the Shining Trapezohedron. Actually, he won't do that. But the Investigators will put another Investigator out. Unfortunately, Cthulhu is in a very bad situation right now. Unless we're able to get rid of some of these curses. And I think... this is very problematic. So I think we are going to have to use the gate for movement. Unfortunately, I can't move to the... Fortunately, I'm not going to be able to move to the other worlds like I wanted to. I need to go to the museum. Because there's a bit of a actually, that's a terrible idea, too. Actually, no. This is the only way Cthulhu can survive and potentially advance in the tournament. So he will move to the museum. Cultist, Investigator. Grabbing an artifact will be the Enchanted Cane for a reroll. Then he'll put that out. The Silk Shroud of Atlach-Nacha. Your ancient one, funnily enough, tonight.
Yeah, I should start with that automatically.
Probably not. Anywho. So I don't get the control action, but I will, however, use the gate card and the blue to prepare, and I'll have to immediately cast Necessary Evil. What that'll do, I'll show you that in a second. Oop. So I will prepare and immediately cast that. Gain 2 more Elder Signs. This would be a problem because now that I'm gaining 2 Elder Signs, that would give Cthulhu his 5th curse. But the way I'm going to rule that is because I'm gaining the... Actually, yeah. Or move down 1 on the summon track. Actually, that's the way we're going to do it instead. He's going to move back 1 on the summon track to destroy all curses on him. So that's one of the only ways in the game that you can mitigate the curses. If I can ever select all of these blasted curses, I'll get rid of them. Well, I'll get rid of them a little bit at a time. There we go. Okay. And then I will draw back up, and I will be done. We'll see what we find on a yellow in a second. That's an Alter Fate. The Investigators are discarding a red to move to the library. And here's where Cthulhu is going to gamble a little bit. So what did we do? That's right. We moved 1 down. Okay, we still had the 2 Elder Signs. So at the museum, I'm going to discard 2 yellow to move up to the other worlds. Now this is basically going to have to work for Cthulhu's sake. He's got 8 cultists there, and he's going to add cubes of power. So actually, Necessary Evil should be gone. Cubes of power, he's going to add 2 additional dice. So he's rolling a total of 10 dice again. And he's at 5 on the summon track, so 4 of these need to be summon rolls. Let's see what happens here. The summon rolls again are tentacles or Cthulhu's. I see 4 tentacles. So that means 4 cultists get sacrificed to the abyss. Cthulhu will advance 1, 2, 3, take a curse because he meets his Elder Sign progression 4. So it takes 1 curse. But as you can see here, I'll zoom in. Cthulhu did get summoned, taking 2 Elder Signs and a curse. Not a bad performance all told, but not exactly a great one. So summoned, yes. 2 Elder Signs and 1 curse. So does everything make more sense now that you've had a chance to see it in action again?
Maybe. It's hard to say until I see it in action.
Yeah, I will walk you through it as best I can. So if you're all set, we'll get your screen shared. There we go.
Yeah, I guess you still do. Okay, so I move everything down here so it's a little easier for me to manage it.
Yep.
I got the Jade Statue and the Skull of Lore.
Okay, good.
I have 1 investigator in each location, and then how many guys starting in the middle?
1 cultist to each location, 7 to your lodge, 7 to the abyss in the middle.
So 7 in the middle. 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay.
Yep.
And then 1 in each location?
1 in each location.
That's crazy.
What is?
That the game didn't move my guys up there for me. You think it would have it set everything else up? Like it wouldn't have, okay, I guess that's it.
For future,
and then what else?
7 cultists to your lodge.
Here?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about my power here. I have the Weaver of Worlds. Place 2 of your cultists onto any other lodge. 1 from the abyss and 1 from your lodge. So what does it mean to onto any other lodge? What does that mean?
So that's more for the multiplayer game, but the way basically when another cult places a cultist out, if you've got cultists on their lodge, you can place with them. But for the solo game, what I've modified that to be is you place them among the investigators. So when they place an investigator out somewhere, you can place a cultist in the same location.
Okay. From my lodge and from the abyss?
Yep.
Okay. And then it says when a lodge with your cultists places 1 of their cultists on a location, you may place 1 of your cultists from their lodge onto that location as well.
So when the investigators place on a location, you can place a cultist with them.
Okay. Okay. And then how many cards do I start with?
You start with 3.
1, 2, 3. All right. The big color is what's on the back.
The big color is what's on the back. What's on top is what it takes to prepare the spell.
Okay. Okay, and where's my figures?
So that's one thing I don't like about this mod that it doesn't do. You'll need to make a copy of the fate pieces and change the color of it. So you need to make a copy of that and put it down. Yep, clone it, and it's going to ultimately
clone there. Okay.
And it's ultimately you only need 1. That one should probably get a different tint on it. I just tinted mine light green. And then that will ultimately go to the streets of Arkham.
Color tint. Okay. Ooh. Wait. So is this us or is this the other guy?
The fate piece that you're controlling starts at the other worlds. The investigators start at the streets of Arkham.
All right, so we can be the green one.
So if you're going to
be the red one.
So if you're going to be the green fate piece, you start at the other worlds.
Do I have it backwards? Is that what happened?
You have it backwards.
Okay.
So if you're controlling the green, you go to the other worlds.
Yeah, I'm going to be controlling green. I got it. Okay. Lovely. Okay, so I think we're ready to go, right?
Starting from the other worlds, the last thing you need to do, starting from the other worlds, take your stack of spell cards, other than not in your hand, but the rest of the deck.
Yeah,
You're gonna put one each at each of the other locations.
Okay, so like that, that, like that.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, so each location basically has a special power,
Yep.
and then it also has a special power if you control the location.
Correct.
Controlling the location is having at least 3 of your cultists,
At least 3
or
cultists.
at least 3 more of what they have.
No, it has to be at least 3 cultists and more than what they have.
And more. Okay. So if we have 4 and they have 3, we still control it?
Yes.
Okay.
But you can roll for temporary control just for the turn. But if you roll for temporary control, right, you need to get a Cthulhu to control it.
All right. So the blue one I noticed is getting the artifacts. The artifacts seem really broken.
Depending on which ones you can get.
So Jade Statue, if you're at the other worlds, we roll up to 2 dice. Skull of Lore, roll a die. Discard Skull of Lore to advance 1 in the summon track. Well, that's good. Like, that's what we want to do, right?
Yeah. The only problem is that's a one-off effect if you roll the Cthulhu, but there's a risk.
Oh, okay. If you become cursed, yeah, okay. So it could be good, could be bad. Just depends on what you roll.
Yeah.
But if you had if you had the Jade Statue, you could re-roll then, right?
You'd have to be at the other worlds, but yes, you could.
Okay. All right, so that's the blue location. The white location does what?
That's how you activate your dark gift, aka your special ability. It also gives you a gate card that you can use to move anywhere.
So that's our special ability?
Yep.
So I only activate the special ability when I'm sitting on a white?
When you move to white, that's how you activate your special ability.
Let's see how it happens. Let's move. Oh wait, we have to have a card to be able to move there.
You have to
so
have
we
a card.
have a green, or blue. So we can only either move to green or blue. That's not true because we have 2 green. We could spend 2 green to go anywhere.
Right.
Okay. See, I'm learning some stuff. I'm not completely dumb.
I never said you were.
No, I'm not saying you did. I'm saying good job, Jester. You learned some stuff. Curse Occult. That's like if you're playing multiplayer, right?
That's basically garbage in the solo.
Okay, so nothing for solo. Okay. Remove a elder sign.
That's an elder sign. Yep.
Yeah, so remove an elder sign, and then you may sacrifice 1 cultist at your current location. Remove. Okay, so you did that one earlier. That's a triple blue. So if I moved to blue, then I wouldn't be able to prepare that spell, right?
Use that to move to blue, right? You wouldn't be able to prepare the spell. And by the way, happy Thanksgiving, Philip. Thanks for stopping by.
Yay! Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Are you not going anywhere, right?
Me? No, I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. What does green do then? Because we can move to green.
Green lets
more guys, right? We get guys out of the abyss, right?
Yep.
Okay, we get 3 games out of there. That sounds good too.
And you see how the elder sign penalty kind of bit me a couple times in that playthrough.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna discard a green because we got a dead card here, anyways. So we discard it behind the
up at the other worlds where you are.
Yeah. So behind there.
Yep.
And then we move over here.
Yep.
And then we get to put a investigator and a cultist.
Yep.
And then we take 3 of our guys.
Uh-huh.
And add them to our lodge.
Back to the lodge. And then you can move 1 of your investigators at the gathering to any other location.
At the gathering. Okay, so from somewhere here. So would I want to do that because it's 2 to 2?
Well, you don't control the gathering at any rate.
But I mean, you get the investigators. If you move to a location, the investigators outnumber the cultists, right?
Yeah.
So like if I move this guy, say over here, then I move my guy, and then when I come back, they'll have more guys there.
Depending on what cards come out in the interim.
Yeah, so I I don't get to activate my special ability though, right?
Right. You have to move onto the ceremony, which takes a white card to do that.
Okay. So I don't think I want to move a guy. I mean, unless you tell me otherwise, I don't think moving a guy is a good move.
Probably not this early.
Okay, and then I'm done, so I draw back up, right?
Well, you're not quite done. Technically, you're not quite done yet because you could theoretically prepare a spell depending on the astral symbols you have in the location. So right now,
the location I'm at?
The location you're at.
Okay, so that would be a green and a green.
And you don't have anything in your hand.
I don't have anything with greens.
So
yeah. So I'm kind of done. Okay, so I can draw a new card. I got the Sign of the Brotherhood. Choose one of their cults to revive a cultist from their abyss. And then, we get 3 guys on there.
Yep.
That'd be good. Okay, so then it's their turn.
So they're at the streets of Arkham right now. They'll take the way they take their turn is they'll take the top card from the spell deck,
which is the red,
discard it there, and then they'll move up to the matching location, which in this case is
they'll move the red.
They'll put
a investigator there,
and that's it for their turn.
Okay, it's pretty simple. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it gets a little more involved when you're standing in the way or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I still only got green and blue. That's not great. I mean, you had 5 cards, but that was because you had a.
That was because I had an artifact.
Right?
Up to 5. Yep.
And what does the other world's location give us?
That's where you go when you want to advance on your summoning track. So when you're there, you roll a die per cultist you have there. For each tentacle or Cthulhu you roll when you're there, you advance 1 space on the summon track.
So more guys there would be better because you're rolling more dice.
Yep.
So maybe if we were going to move, we might have moved a guy up there. I think, which is what you did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we want to go to blue. So we'll play a blue here.
Yep.
Flip that over. Put that behind us. Come over here. Bling. We put one of our guys, one of their guys at the location. So it's 2-2. Nobody controls it. Now we can roll for temporary.
You could roll for temporary control if you don't, which there you'd potentially use that to sweep the artifact display clear if you don't like the artifact display.
Like if we wanted to get a different one.
If you wanted to get different artifacts out there.
You didn't look at these and you didn't seem very impressed with them.
I would, yeah, especially early. I'd probably like the Jade statue a little bit more later in the game when you're getting ready to, especially when you're trying to make.
Let's roll a die and we'll see if we can get temporary control.
And then you also have the option as well. If you don't get temporary control, you can just draw blind from the top of the deck.
Okay. I rolled a.
That's a greater elder sign, so you don't get control of the location.
Greater elder sign, which is not good. Okay. Because we're playing the bad guys, not the good guys. So we.
Right.
I think I'm just going to draw off the top.
Okay.
What would you? I mean, if you have some recommendations, I will be more than happy to.
No, I think in this situation, I'd be drawing off the top too.
Oh, just 1 card, not all of them. I got the Nomicron.
Oh, when you gain this artifact, you immediately become cursed.
Okay, so
I would probably put that off to the side. You'll need those slots when you start preparing spells.
Put it over here, I guess.
So
this must be for spells there. Okay, so we become cursed.
Which is
that's one of these.
That's a gate card.
No, that's a gate card. Okay, what about these red ones?
That's the one you want for curses.
Okay, so I want one of those. Okay, I mean I don't want one, right?
Well, you don't want one, but you've got one.
I got one, whether I want to or not. No, so this has got to be pretty good if I'm getting it cursed.
Well, let's look at it. You can exhaust it to add a wild symbol for readying a spell, so that'll make it easier to ready spells for you. Or you can discard it to move the fate piece to another location. So for readying spells...
Fate piece is the red guy? The red guy is the fate piece?
The red and the green... The red and green...
Oh, so either one of them, I can move either one of them.
Yep.
I gotcha. Okay. I mean, yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. And you can activate these anytime?
Yeah. So you could, theoretically, you could exhaust that to gain a wild symbol if you've got something that you want
I got a blue and a yellow for spells. And so I can't get a spell, right?
You could if you exhaust the Necronomicon and use the wild as a red. That would let you prepare your mind switch.
Swap one of your cultists from any location with any other cultist from a different location.
In the solo game, I rule you can use that with the investigators. So basically, you swap places with an investigator. You swap cultists with an investigator.
Yeah, makes sense. That doesn't sound that good compared to like this one.
Especially in late game, don't underestimate the power of being able to switch cultists, especially when you're getting ready to make a big summon roll.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, we can keep it for later. Transmogrify. Okay, so he's going to put a yellow out. And he's going to move to the yellow.
Yep.
And then he's going to put out a dude.
Yep.
And now they outnumber us there, which is bad.
Yep.
And what location kills off guys?
Well, there's nothing from the location that can do it. There are spells that can kill.
Okay, spells that will kill them. Okay.
But you can get rid of cultists or investigators from your lodge by going to the streets of Arkham. Unfortunately, of course, they're there right now, so you can't do that.
So if we go to a red, or we can go to like only having 3 cards is really rough.
Yeah, that's why that's why my first move with Cthulhu was to go get that Wizard's Grimoire from the museum.
Red or green? Well, with 2 green, we can go anywhere.
Yep.
Is that including the Underworlds?
Yes, that includes the other worlds.
But we'd only roll like 2 dice, though, because we only have 2 guys there.
There's really no point right now to going to the other worlds this early.
Yeah. And red, what do you do at the library?
Red is at the library, you draw 3 spell cards. You can ready an additional spell using the same astral symbols that are there.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. Red, yellow. We don't have any red, yellow, but...
Well, don't forget, you got the Necronomicon that you can use to get a wild symbol.
To get a wild symbol, right. All right, let's go to red. I think red is good. Red is fine. This is going to go up here, flip over. We're going to go red. We add one of our guys and one of their guys. The outnumber is 3-2.
Yep.
So that's going to be bad, right?
Yep.
So 3 guys are going to come to my lodge then, right?
Not right now. They're not. The way that works is if they're there at the start of the turn, then if there are 3 investigators there at the start of the turn, then they come to the lodge. If the third one goes on as part of the movement, then no, they don't come to the lodge.
So I should draw 3 cards, 3 spell cards.
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and I only get to choose one of these?
Actually, because you're at the library, you can prepare up to 2 spells, but using the same astral symbols. So they'll clear out when you say you're all done with them.
So I have a red, and a yellow.
And a wild if you need to exhaust the Necronomicon.
And a wild. Now, do you need to match all 3? Like I would need to have 3 whites to cast this spell?
That's to prepare the spell. Once you have it prepared, you can cast it anytime.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah, I'm sorry. So like I would need a blue and 2 greens, which I don't have. I would need a yellow and a white. I would need a red or blue and 2 yellow. Oh my gosh. So I got 2 red and a yellow. 2 red and a yellow. And I got my Nomicron so I could make that red a white.
Yep. Well, you can make it. You would add a wild symbol to the location. You wouldn't change any of the astral symbols out.
So I can prepare both of these spells then. Because I have a red, yellow, yellow up there, right? Oh no, I got red, red, yellow. Sorry, hang on. Red, red, yellow. So I could do. Oh, come on, stop. The red and the wild. Stop. And then the yellow and the wild. I could do like that.
You'd only be able to use the wild symbol.
I only use the wild ones. Okay, that's what I needed to know. So these 3 cards I drew are absolutely worthless.
Well, they're movement, and if you can get a triple white, that ancient stirring is actually very powerful.
But I don't get to keep these cards, right?
Yes, you do.
Oh, I get to keep them. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then even better. Okay. So I'm going to prepare this one because it's the only one I can prepare. Stop one of yours for any location with a difference and a different one. Well, that's not even that great, but movement you say is pretty good.
Yep.
So I'll count that. All right. And I have to spend the Nomicron, so I guess we'll just put a discard pile over there. I guess.
Don't discard that. If you're using the effect to gain a wild, you don't discard it. You just exhaust it.
Oh, you just exhaust it.
So I would say just flip it over to indicate that you've used it. So that'll be there you
go. Okay. And they'll come back then.
It'll come back at the start of your next turn.
Okay. Now, do I still get to draw a card, or I don't get to draw a card because I've already had my hand size, right?
Before you do that, go back up to the library for a second and discard all of the cards that were there.
Oh, okay, right, because let's see. I think we'll put them over here, I guess, out of the way.
And now you go to the spell deck, and there you go. Yeah, just stack them together. Now go to the spell deck and draw back up. So draw one.
I get to draw one.
Yep.
Even though I'm at maximum cards.
There's no maximum hand size in the game. There's minimum.
Well, I mean, like my hand size was 3 at one point.
That's your minimum.
When a monster and become cursed. Well, that's interesting. And that's what these things are, monsters.
Yep.
Okay. And then that's it, I believe.
That's it for your turn.
For my turn, right? Okay, they are going to draw blue. They're going to move to blue.
And put a cult. Put an
investigator out there.
And
okay. Now they're done. Okay, but now we can go white, red, or yellow. White seemed like a good spot.
And I think you've got a white spell that's all but a dead card right now. There was one about summoning a monster. Yeah, Call of the Wicked Ones.
So I don't want that one, huh?
Yeah, I would say that one's probably a dead card. So it's
going to go back here, move over here. And we get 1 and 1. One of you versus 1 of me. So right now it's 2-2. Yep. And what do we do with the white area?
That's where you trigger your dark gift and you get a gate card. So also you should flip over your Necronomicon since you've got that back now.
Oh, okay. And I get a gate card?
Yep.
Okay. And that means I can go anywhere. And then my dark power again is place 2 of my investigators, 1 from the lodge, 1 from the abyss. So I place 2 of these guys out, 1 from here.
They go with the investigators. So take 1 of your cultists from the lodge. I think you had 1 that you had and 1 from the abyss. Put those among the investigators. Not at the location.
Oh, okay. So they just go to where the okay.
Yep.
Here, like here.
Yep. So now when the investigators move around the board, when they place an investigator, you can place a cultist at the same location.
Oh, I see. Okay, so like when one of these guys come out, I can also piggyback off on them.
Yep.
I got it. Okay. And then with a launch, with one of your guys places one of their guys. Okay, so that's that right there, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So that was white. Now, would there be any? What do you get if you have temporary control?
If you have temporary control, you can sacrifice 2 cultists at the location to advance 1 on your summon track.
That doesn't seem great either. So our spell is to move a guy. Okay, I think I'm again done. Unless I'm forgetting something.
Do you have any spell to prepare?
Spell, right. So I can do white blue. White blue does me nothing.
White, blue, wild, because don't forget, you've got the Necronomicon.
Oh, right. So
I still don't think
I
that's
could
really...
go with this. Either roll up to 3 of your dice once or 1 of your dice 3 times.
Which is a mitigation, isn't a terrible thing.
White, blue, and a wild. Is it worth trying to do that or no? Or is it better to like maybe wait and get some more whites over here and then get our triple white?
I'd probably sit tight on it for the time being.
Okay, I will do that. All right, then I draw a card.
Yep.
And we got a purple yellow, necessary evil. And now they're going to put out a white card. They're going to try to go to me, but I'm already there.
Yep.
So they go to the other worlds, and I get a curse.
Yep.
So that is my second curse.
And that's a problem if Atlach-Nacha is looking to make the winners group.
Atlach-Nacha is going to make the winners group.
Don't forget to put the investigator at the other worlds, too.
No, I'd rather not. And I'm going to piggyback.
That's a good play.
All right, so it's still 2-2. That's not bad. Okay, back to our turn.
Yep.
We can go white, red, or green, or we could spend 2 white or 2 red and move to any location. The library getting more spell cards seems pretty good.
Bear in mind, you've also got 3 investigators there, so you're going to be starting to progress toward a raid, which still might not be the worst thought, just because it's more cards.
White, I can't go to white because I'm already there.
Already there, yep.
Green will allow me to get guys, so we can get our last 3 guys out of the abyss. We are running out of guys.
You got plenty of cultists right now. You've still got 5.
I like having lots. I like having everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, I'm not saying it's the smartest move, but Yep, I'm gonna go to green. Over there. We get to put our guy out and a cultist. And then we get our 3 cultists. If we get temporary control, what happens?
If you get temporary control, you can move everybody at the gathering somewhere else. So you could potentially move all 3 of those cultists, or how many cultists do you have there? Is it 3?
3. Yep, 3 there.
You could potentially move all 3 of those cultists straight to the other worlds.
All right, let's see what happens. Let's first thing we got to do is see if we can get it. So,
yep.
And we roll the Cthulhu.
That's the face you need to get temporary control.
Oh, so we have temporary control. So we could move our guys out of there, and I think I will. I'll move Do I want to move all of them up there?
Remember, more cultists in the other worlds is more dice to roll when you're trying to summon.
Summoning is good.
Summoning is how you win the game.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, I'm going to move them all up there. Coming back here is going to be a problem, but we'll deal with that when we have to deal with it.
Well, indeed. Before you draw your spell, check your astral symbols.
So we got green, green, blue, green. Oh, we got a green, green, blue. Summon a monster or become cursed.
That would be Atlach-Nacha.
That doesn't do anything in solo.
Hmm?
That doesn't do anything in solo.
Well, it does summon the monsters, but the problem is it gives you a curse. That would be Atlach-Nacha's third curse.
And what do the monsters do for you?
Potentially special abilities. So they vary by monster.
And so is this like they got their own card or something?
Yep.
And how do you know which one you get?
You pick whichever one in the reserve.
So you can do like a Dark Young or a Sogoth.
Shoggoth. The monsters that are right now, though, I think. Looks like
becoming cursed. Well, that's
and becoming cursed is one of the ways you can.
We don't want. Yeah, I was going to say we don't want to. 5 of them is the way to lose, right? So
5 is how you lose there, yeah.
Yeah, we should probably be a little careful. So we don't want things that get us cursed. We'd like to get rid of curses.
Yep.
All right. And so I'm not going to. So that's it. I'm not gonna. Do I want to summon a monster and become cursed? No, I'm not gonna do it. So I just draw a card.
Yep.
And he puts out a green, and oh my gosh, look at that! There's 3 green up here. 3 green and is that a purple is wild?
That's purple's wild.
So 3 green and a wow.
Except,
So I could do that for this if we got up there.
Well, the problem is you're discarding a green right now, so he's trying to move to the gathering.
Oh, he's trying to come to me. I block him, so he moves back over here.
I think he goes to the streets of Arkham, actually, if he's at the other worlds.
Okay, so because he's there, he can't go back there. Okay, that makes sense.
And
but
then
I also take a curse then, don't I?
You also take a curse.
Oh, this game is just terrible. Like broken, terrible. I got 3 curses. That's not fair.
That's the way it
goes.
And
he had the dude as well. And I could piggyback off of that.
Right now, you don't have any investigators on your lodge, though, so...
But I mean, I could... Do I want to piggyback when he puts a guy there? It's 3 versus 1. I can make it 3 versus 2, or I can leave that and maybe wait till he comes back up here.
I think I'd wait on that until he moves somewhere else more useful.
All right. So how do you get a wild? Like, can I discard anything to go to purple?
You would have to discard 2 to go to 2 of the same color to go to purple, or if you've got a purple card already, you can use that to go up to purple.
All right. Well, we got a red. At the end of any other cultist turn, you can sacrifice 2 guys from your lodge to take the current location's basic action.
So after their turn, you could sacrifice 2 cultists.
So wherever he moves, then we can activate that location's ability.
The basic action.
Basic ability, right. Either roll up to 3 dice. Yeah, all right. We'll sacrifice those 2 red ones. So we're going to go red. I want to try this. I'm going to go up to purple up here.
Yep.
Okay, we get one of our guys, one of his guys.
Mm-hmm.
One there. Okay, so we have control now because it's 2, 4, 6 to 3.
Yep, so you get to roll 6 dice. For each tentacle or Cthulhu you roll, you advance 1 on your summon track. For each Cthulhu you roll, one of those cultists comes back to the lodge.
6. So technicals are like those. What else do I want to roll?
Cthulhu's.
Cthulhu's are good.
Yep. If you roll Cthulhu's, the cultists come back to the lodge.
All right. Come on, let's go. Give us some good rolls. Give us some good ones. Come on, baby. Come on. You got it. You can do this. Do it. All right. I got 3 Cthulhu's and 2 technicals.
So two cultists go back to the abyss, 3 come back to the lodge, and you advance 5 on the summon track.
So 1, 2. So those are for the technicals.
Yep.
3 guys come back to my lodge.
Yep.
And then I move
5
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm halfway there.
You are indeed.
Ooh, I'm doing as good as Cthulhu did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now let's look at our spell. So we got anything green, green, green. Wow,
You've actually got another wild symbol. Remember, you've got the Necronomicon too.
right. And that's not, we have none of those. I think we just draw. Right?
Well, if you want to get rid of all the curses on you, you could use the Necronomicon as a wild and use the wild on the location to prepare necessary evil. Because there's a wild on the other worlds as well.
Oh, that's a wild. I got it. And then the other wild.
The other wild would be.
You are correct. I would agree that you are a smart man. So then those all go away, right?
Yep.
Okay, put all those over there. There we go. And then I draw a card.
Yep.
And then it's his turn. He's going to go to yellow. What? Oh no, he's at yellow, so he can't go to yellow.
Yep. So he
goes to the other world, but I'm there, so he can't go there.
If both are occupied, I think he would move. I would say he just stays at the streets of Arkham, but you still end up with your 4th curse.
What? That is so broken.
He also puts an investigator back at the streets of Arkham.
Oh, that's so broken. Oh my God, that's so broken.
Except you just prepared a spell to deal with all of your curses.
That's true. So we got to move down to destroy all of our curses, right? Okay. So when do we is there a timing on casting these, or you basically cast them whenever the hell you want?
Whenever the hell you want.
Okay, that's what I figured. All right. So I should probably do it before I get my 5th, though, right?
I would think that would be something you'd probably want to consider.
Or is there like a timing thing? Like if I'm getting my 5th, I could actually kill that one and the other ones at the same time.
I would say if you're getting your 5th, you can kill them at the same time, but I probably wouldn't wait.
Okay. All right. I will. Yeah, I was probably going to do it anyways. I just wanted to see how, like, if I wanted to metagame this. So, all right. So what we got to do is we got to build up some more cultists again.
Hold on. Before you do that, you got to discard the necessary evil and pay the price for it. So either retreat 1 on your summon track or gain 2 elder signs. There you go.
And 2 elder signs would go here.
Yep.
Like 9/8.
Yep.
And what did Cthulhu end up doing?
Cthulhu ended up getting 2 elder signs and 1 curse.
So if I was to get the 2 elder signs, let's just hang on a second. Before I take it back. If I take the 2 elder signs and we end up moving this up there, boom, ending it. We don't have any curses. So did we do better than Cthulhu?
Well, if you take the 2 elder signs, once your summon track progress meets your elder sign progress, you do take a curse.
Okay, so then we would be equal to Cthulhu at that point.
Yes.
So then what's the next tiebreaker in your system?
The tiebreakers I've got are elder signs, then curses, then it's my executive tiebreaker, which is basically my finger to Yog-Sothoth. If neither ancient one's been featured for a while, then it's just a die roll.
All right. I'll go back 1 and we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to say I'm going to be doing it as well as Cthulhu did, but okay. So we did that. Now we got to decide green, red, or yellow. I'm sorry. Green, red, or white, not yellow. White would...
Or anywhere, because you've got a gate card.
Oh, we do have... That's right. We do have this thing here. Oh, and did we use this Necronomicon, right? So we got to flip that down.
Well, it's flipped for the start of your next turn. It's flipped back up.
Oh, it flips up at the start of every turn. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Red. We could go red, white, green. Green would be dangerous. There's only 3 guys there. That's not great. We don't have that many guys in there anyways. How do we get guys in here in the underworld?
Either move there or piggyback off of him when he tries to move to the other
When he
world.
moves there, right? So red gets us cards. White gets us another. We can have multiple of these movement teleporters, right?
You can only have 1 gate card unless an artifact.
Oh, and we spent this card, so this one goes away.
Yep. Flip it and then try to stack it.
There we go. All right, thanks. What would you recommend? Because I'm kind of torn here. I don't know. Like getting more cards at red would be nice. Well, what's this card doing up here?
That must have been an astral symbol that you played earlier. So yeah, that should be flipped over on the white side. Let's see.
I can go white, red, or green, or anywhere if I use my little teleporter.
Yeah.
Green has got 3 guys. White is pretty neutral at this point.
White's 2 and 2, but you could potentially advance on the summon track if you get temporary control there. Your artifact display still isn't that good.
Yeah, I mean, we could go to blue and maybe try to get a new artifact out here.
I think right now I probably go looking for more cards.
Red. Okay, so we'll discard the red, which is way up here.
With the other worlds.
Flip it over.
Yep.
Put this there. We get one of our guys, one of their. Oh, look at how many guys we got. We're seeing. You were like, "Duh, you don't have to worry about that."
Before you place the cultists out, you do have to take the 3 investigators into your lodge.
Okay, because there's 3 there.
Yep.
Okay. And that could be problems for later.
Could be later.
And there has to be at least 5 of them, right?
5 of them gets you rated at the end of the turn.
Yeah. And rating is giving us elder signs. So it's kind of the way the game works against you, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But now we got 3-1. We actually control that location.
And you're gonna like this control. You're gonna like this control action at the library. You can sacrifice a cultist from the library to ready a spell at no cost.
Oh wow. Okay. So we get rid of discard a guy, and then we can ready a spell. Gain 1 in the summon track. And if I sacrifice a cultist, I can do it again.
Yep.
Hell yes. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
So draw your 3 cards.
Oh, yes. 1, 2, 3. Curse Occult.
Let's see.
That would be a multiplayer thing, right?
Yep. So movement fodder.
If you end your turn, you can sacrifice a cultist to become cursed and immediately take another action. If a cultist discards a monster token, they gain 2
investigators. Also probably movement fodder.
Yeah, okay. So not a lot going on there. Let's see. We're at red, white.
Yep.
And a wild, right? Red, white, and a wild. Oh, we can do this one. Yeah, which is nothing. We can do this one, which is nothing. We could do this one. You said rolling is good, though.
Mitigation is useful, yeah.
We'll take that. That's fine. I can do red in the wild. It's the Namacron. Flip it over. Draw a card. And I'm done. And he's going to go yellow. Oh my gosh. Look at this. This is crazy. And he can go to yellow again, but he can go up to the other worlds.
Yep.
And when he does that, I'm going to piggyback off on him.
Good play.
And that's all he can do.
Yep.
Now, if we go to yellow, look how many. There's 4 yellow, a red, and a blue. That's a lot of stuff.
There's also 3 cultists there, and you've got 3 in your lodge right now. Although going the
4 cultists there.
Ooh, so
Even worse, yeah.
Yeah. So even if you
That's
get
fine.
rid of 2, you wouldn't be able. You'd still have a raid coming your way.
White, blue, yellow. White, blue, yellow. White, or anywhere, because we do have the teleporter.
Yep.
I would say green and yellow are kind of dangerous. We can go to white again, though. But that is, yeah, we can go white. Let's go white. Up here, flip it over. Go on down here. Put one of our guys. Put one of their. What happens if they run out of guys?
Everybody gets raided immediately.
Oh, okay. Well, they got 4 guys left. Okay, let's try for temporary control there. All right, Cthulhu. What do we want? Technical?
You want the Cthulhu to get temporary.
Or what the Cthulhu hand?
Yep.
Come on, Cthulhu. You can do it. Come on, Cthulhu. I believe in you. Nope, technical. So nothing. All right. So we can still do what, though? We get a travel voucher?
You already have a gate card, and you can only have 1.
Oh, you can only have 1? Okay.
But you do get to trigger your dark gift again.
Oh, I get my dark power. Let's just move 2 of my guys up there.
Well, technically, it's 1 from the lodge, 1 from the abyss.
Correct. You are absolutely correct. Give me 1 back. Even better for me, actually. And then our location is white, blue, green. White. Oh, and we got 3 spells.
You should probably cast at least 1 of them.
Let's go up 1 on our summoning track. And I'm going to sacrifice the cultist.
Yep.
To do it again.
That's a good play.
So that's 2 more spots. I sacrifice them, I'm assuming, from my lodge?
Location.
Oh, from the
I think it's specified. Yep, at the current location. So
okay,
as long as you've got a cultist at the ceremony, you sacrifice 1 there.
Okay.
And that puts you up
we
2.
Move up 2. So we're okay. So that's good. This
that's
goes
gone.
Away. Huh?
I said that's gone. So
yep.
Get discarded.
So let's see what we got here. Swap 1 of your guys from any 1 location with that of a different location. Ooh. So I could move this guy down here up there?
Yep.
I think we want to do that.
Okay. Right? Yep. And then one of the investigators comes back to the streets of Arkham.
One of the investigators.
One of the investigators from the other worlds comes back to the streets of Arkham since you swapped.
Here.
Yep.
Oh, I see. You're swapping them. Got it. Okay, I got it.
And mind switch is discarded.
And then this goes away. Let's see what this one does. This is
That's
mitigating some dice rolls. Okay. So we can got white, blue, green. White, blue, and a wild. White, blue, green. So I could get this one. If it calls, discards a monster. Become cursed to prevent all. Ooh. That's interesting. So you can take a curse, but you prevent all elder signs from happening. So if we get a bad roll, yeah, I'm going to prepare that. What do you think?
Yeah, that's probably the best of the spells that you can prepare right now.
Okay, and then we draw a card. Then he draws a card. He's going to go to blue, which is over here.
Yep.
He's going to put a guy. Do I want to put a guy there?
I would probably say no, in all honesty.
Okay. He's opened the other worlds for us. We do have 2 blue. We could go there.
You also have a purple that you could use to just go there.
Oh, because of this.
Yeah, the gate.
The gate. Ah. And so our token, does it need to go all the way up to the top or just to the 9 spot?
Just to the 9.
So I literally need 3 successes to win.
Yep.
And I have, well, if I go there, I would have 4 guys.
And you'd have control of the location because the investigators would come to your lodge first.
Which, and I've got some mitigation on the dice roll.
Yep.
What do you think? Do you go for it at this point or not?
If the summon works, the game's just over on the spot. So that's the question, is if it is worth the gamble. And this is a toughie because if the roll works, you're getting low on investigators too, so you've got to keep that in mind. And if the supply runs out of investigators, you get raided. If it's me and I've got mitigation ready, I think I probably would go for it.
Okay, we're gonna cast our spell or teleport.
So the gate actually does go to the ceremony since you're using that as movement.
Goes here.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, didn't know that. Then I'm gonna go there, and then I get the
investigators come to your lodge first.
Yeah, this is so now we got 6 of them. That's bad.
Now
But
you put cultist and investigator out.
I'm sorry.
Now you put cultist and investigator
Oh,
out.
now I put them out. Okay.
I think you put your cultist out already. So now you get your investigator.
But I can copy and use my guy there.
I don't think so. Let me look. Place to whenever lodge. Actually, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to do that. So,
Okay, well then I definitely would like to.
okay.
All right, so it looks like I have. So what do I get if I get control of the area?
You have control of the location outright, so you get the additional effect of any Cthulhu's you roll. Mean those.
So that's what Cthulhu is. So I'm going to get 5 dice.
You've got 5 dice, and you need at least 3 summons for Atlach-Nacha to have the best performance so far.
Okay. All right, so we roll, and we've got some mitigation to try and help us here. So we're looking at what else?
Tentacles.
Tentacles. All right, the Cthulhu's and tentacles. Come on, Cthulhu. Come on. Cthulhu. Come on, Cthulhu. I have 2 Cthulhu and 2 tentacles. No, I'm sorry, 1 tentacle and 2 Cthulhus.
Just waiting for the leg to settle, but yep, that's what I see. So 1 cultist goes to the abyss, 2 back to the lodge, and you advance 3 on the summon track.
Oh, no, this here. 2 back to the. Oh shoot! Go back over there. And 1, 2, 3.
Very nicely done for Atlach-Nacha.
Thank you. For our first game, I think that's... we get a curse because...
No, you don't, actually, because you didn't have any elder signs. Actually, wait. No, you didn't gain any elder signs. And the way I've been tracking elder signs is I've got the blocks in the same color. So I've been using those to put down as... I'll explain it when we tab back over to my
Okay,
screen.
that's fine. You're doing the scoring. I'm just showing you what I have. So, I mean, I don't really care who wins or loses. I'm just having fun playing. So that's all.
Well, so far, Atlach-Nacha is the ancient one to beat in this group. No, she got summoned. No elder signs. No curses.
Wow. I mean, you don't get any better than that, do you?
No, you don't.
All right.
With that being said, I'm going to pull your screen share and come back to mine.
Well, that's only because it was 2 mines versus the game, because you were really helping me. So thank you for that.
Well, you were saying you kind of needed some help on your first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I kind of understand the basics of the game. It's more, when do you do things? When should you not? When should you try to do this? When should you not? Those are experience things that I really needed your input on.
Yeah. And now I'm trying to make this cooperate with me. I don't know why.
Well, I would have to say, for your first venture into a cooperative Christmas in Arkham has gone successful so far.
So far it has. Hang on.
Because now, so you got somebody else putting the pressure on you to do better.
Well, hold on. I'm trying to make this cooperate with me to get my screen back in being what
Do I have to stop sharing my screen, maybe?
No.
Okay.
Here, we got it. Took me a little bit, but I just had to go back to... I just had to get my screen tabbed back in. So now we've got our last ancient one tonight, that being the Windwalker himself, Ithaqua. His dark gift is Wendigo. Remove all winter squall tokens from the altar. Shuffle them, draw 3, and look at them. Place the tokens on 3 different locations face down. Destroy an investigator or a cultist from each of those locations. Whenever a cult activates a location with a winter squall token, reveal the squall and apply the effect, then discard that token. So these are the winter squall tokens. We'll go through those when it becomes relevant.
Okay.
And the artifacts for Ithaqua, the Shining Trapezohedron. This is the artifact that says you can hold up to 2 gate cards. Exhaust
that's why you were able to do that. Okay.
Yep. I can exhaust this when another cult moves to the ceremony to draw a gate card. And I've got the Runic Chalk. When it's in play, I increase my spell reserve by 1. The spell reserve is 3.
Yeah.
I can discard this to ready a spell for free.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty good too.
Yeah. I've got a Transmogrify on a red, Coerce the Innocent on a white, and Confound on a yellow. I think on that note, I'm going to use the Transmogrify because Ithaqua has got no margin for error to move over to the library. Remember, Ithaqua has to get summoned with no elder signs, no curses, and hope for a die roll to advance to the winners group. 3 cards, and I can ready an additional spell using double red. Got to Coerce the Innocent on yellow, Enthrall on white, and Shadow Walk on blue. I am going to not prepare anything here. Then we'll draw blue for another Confound, which is actually pretty terrible. Then the investigators are discarding a red, trying to move to the library, but they can't. So the investigators move to the other world, and Ithaqua is already in trouble because that's his first curse.
That's all right. There's ways to mitigate it. We found out.
Well, there are, but if Ithaqua is going to advance to the winners group, he's got to get rid of those curses.
That is true. Can I close out of my TTS game?
Yeah, you can close out of yours.
Okay.
We won't be
You don't need to like take a screenshot or anything like that, right?
Nope. I've got the notes in my spreadsheet that I'm keeping on my iPad.
All right. I had to exit out for a reason, so thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to use confound on a blue to move over to the library. Cultist investigator. And I will grab the shining trapezohedron. I put that over here. And we'll replace that with the crown of Carcosa. I'm not going to worry about temporary control in this case because it doesn't really do anything for me. With double blue, I'm not preparing anything there. So I'll draw on a white, find a rack to destroy a cultist from any location or lodge. They're discarding a green at the other worlds to go to the gathering. Entering a play in the geek, I take it?
Yes.
Figured. Let's see. What do I want to do here? I will move I'll use an enthrall on a white to move down to the ceremony. That'll let me put a cultist and an investigator out. Oop. Hold on. 2, 4, 6, 8. That should be there. I'm going to roll for temporary control.
Because if I don't do it, I'll forget.
That's fair. No temporary control there, but I get a gate card and I get to trigger Ithaqua's Dark Gift. So that's where these Winter Squall tokens come into play. So the 3 I'm going to put out. That's a no effect. Gain 2 Elder Signs, which in this case would probably be lose and become cursed. Let's see. Then destroy an investigator or a cultist from those locations. So I'm going to put the no effect. Where am I going to put the no effect? I'm going to put that on. I should put the no effect where I'm going next. I'm going to put that on red, which let me destroy an investigator. Put the 2, which one is this? Gain 2 Elder Signs. I'll put that on the other worlds. And I'll put this last one on the gathering. Then with white and yellow, I'm not doing anything there, so I'll draw back up. On a green, I'll find a Witch's Curse, aka movement fodder. The investigators at the gathering are going to discard a white, moving to the ceremony, except we're already there. Up to the other worlds. They put a cultist out, triggering this as well. They'll gain 2 Elder Signs, which I would lose those. But that's Ithaqua's second curse already. Ithaqua is in a world of trouble trying to get to the winners group. Ithaqua will discard a...
So you got group 1, group 2, group 3.
Yep.
So each one of those groups is going to have a winner. Then from those 3 winners, you then reseed them and replay?
There will be a final... From those 3, there will be a final winners group coming on Saturday. And then the winner of that group will be our opponent in Christmas in Arkham. Something wrong?
No. So we're getting together on Saturday?
That's the plan. Is there a scheduling conflict?
Other than the Ohio State Buckeye game at noon, no.
We can do that. We can do it later in the evening.
Yeah, probably be better to either a later afternoon or evening. Either one would be fine.
Yeah, we can do the winners group in the evening. That's fine. That's not a big problem. 3 cultists back, 1 to the other worlds. Green.
And which
white-
game are we playing for that? Which game are we playing?
That'll still be Fate of the Elder Gods.
Oh, okay. It's another run of the. So the 3 winners are going to do it again.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
And then the winner of that group will be our opponent for Christmas and
I
Arkham.
gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Green,
And
yellow.
then the first game we actually play is
Eldritch Horror. That'll be Sunday.
Eldritch Horror.
That'll be
That's
Sunday morning. Sunday morning.
Morning.
Yep.
Crack of dawn type thing again.
Yep. I'm not preparing anything there.
On my days off. What are you doing to me, man?
I forgot I had my squall there, so that's actually Ithaqua's 3rd curse. This might be over quickly for Ithaqua.
Oof.
And I'll draw on a red. Find a witch's curse, which is garbage. The investigators are discarding a red at the other worlds to move to the library, and no effect. That kind of blew up in my face. And a cultist. Or an investigator. Let's see here. What do we want to do? We don't have any way to get rid of curses right now, so that red is garbage. Let's use a white at the gathering. Actually, no, let's not use a white there. Let's use a gate card, actually. I'll use that to move over to the ceremony, which will put a cultist and an investigator out. Roll for temporary control, which I don't get, but I do get the gate card and the winter squalls again. No
I take it he's an expansion character.
Ithaqua is actually a base game.
Is he really? Okay.
Yeah. All cults sacrifice 1 cultist from this location, then destroy an elder sign from their track, and gain 2 elder signs. Let's put a no effect on the gathering. I'll put 2 elder signs on Streets of Arkham, and this convoluted one on the museum. We'll destroy an investigator from each of those locations. Get those out of the way. And then with white, green, yellow. White, green, yellow. I'm not preparing anything there. So we'll draw back up and find Alhazred's Vengeance on a red. At the library, they're trying to move back to the library, but they can't, so they go to the other worlds instead. Oy. What effect did I put down here? Well, destroy 1 from their location, then destroy an elder sign. Except Ithaqua's problem right now is curses, not elder signs. Sure, we'll put down a green there at the ceremony to move to the gathering, which will trigger that for no effect. Cultist, investigator. Gonna roll for temporary control, which I don't get. 3 back from the abyss. 3 back from the abyss. There we go. And 1 to the other worlds. Green, yellow, white, wild. Green, yellow, white, wild. That's going to be... I think I'm going to use the wild as another green and prepare Confound. Which Confound will let me move all investigators from an adjacent location, from a location to an adjacent, or remove all investigators from my lodge. But I discard everything because I used those to prepare a spell. Then I'll draw back up. Find a Dark Pact. They're moving. They're ping-ponging between the other worlds and the library at this rate. Let's see. What do I want to do from the gathering? I think here I'm going to use my 2 red to move up to the other worlds just for a pride play at this point, the way things are going. Cultist, investigator, and I control the location, so Cthulhu's give me investigators back in the lodge. For 4 dice. Let's see, gotta move that out. Okay, so 1 back to the abyss, 1 to the lodge, and I advanced 2 on Ithaqua's summon track. Wild and a whole mess of reds and greens.
Yeah. 3 reds, 2 greens. Jeez.
And the best, and a spell that I could use would be Shadow Walk, but the problem is right now Ithaqua's got 3 curses and I don't want to take a 4th. So
you gotta get a curse to cast that.
I gotta get the curse destroyer, which that is not. That's a corruption. Let's see, they're discarding a blue at the library to move to the museum, which triggers that. All cultists sacrifice 1 from this location. So theirs is going to stay, mine's going to go away. I'm just shortcutting the placing out an investigator. Hey, Tony's stopping by. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, Tony.
Tony, how you doing, buddy?
This probably looks a little convoluted. It'll make more sense if you go back, Tony, and watch the intro video for Christmas in Arkham. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yes, I just placed their investigator out. So back to my turn. These are both pretty terrible right now. Let's get that out of my way. Yeah, none of these spells are particularly good right now. I think here I'm going to use 2 whites. What am I using here? Coerce the Innocent and a rack. Yeah, that's fine. I'll use 2 whites to move over to the library, which will bring these 3 cultists over to my lodge. Remember, I don't get rated until 5. But I will place a cultist and an investigator. I draw 3 cards. Get nothing I'm particularly impressed by. Actually, I can sacrifice a cultist to ready a spell for free, which that will be, my free spell will be Coerce the Innocent. And then spells I can prepare, I've got reds and blues and nothing but. I think that'll be it.
Yeah, you getting ready to have it? Yeah, I'll have it, sure.
That's terrible.
Cool Whip or Squirt Whip?
Cool Whip, of course. There's only one whip.
No, there's not.
There's only one.
Anyway, the investigators are discarding a green to move to the gathering. Let's see. I'm going to use 2 greens at the library to move over to the ceremony is bad because I get rated there. I'm going to move to the museum. Cultist and an investigator. Temporary control doesn't do anything because I don't have any elder signs, but I will grab the runic chalk. And then I'll replace that with True Magic. Discard a spell in your reserve and you exhaust. Then draw the top card from your spell deck and immediately ready it for free. Temporary temporary control doesn't do anything for me here. So 2 blues, white, green. Yeah, I think I will prepare a corruption with that. So I can either sacrifice 2 from my lodge or become cursed. Then advance 1 on the summon track or remove 2 from my lodge, 2 investigators from the lodge. Not that either one's doing me much good right now, but I will go ahead and cast that right now, sacrificing 2 cultists to advance 1 on the summon track. So that's another 3 on the summon track. Then I will draw up. Find another corruption. The investigators at the gathering are discarding a yellow to move to the streets of Arkham, which triggers them gaining 2 elder signs, which would be me losing essentially. But they also trigger a raid immediately, and I get raided with 3 investigators.
Just 3, huh?
Just 3. All of whom go away, but they do leave 1 elder sign behind. As if Ithaqua needed more problems with not advancing to the winners group. Let's see. I think
Didn't you just have Ithaqua?
On the channel?
Last year, maybe 2 years ago?
Ithaqua was a finalist on the channel, last year. And I think he was the very first opponent ever I featured for Christmas in Arkham. That first year was an executive decision. I think I'll use the gate to move up to the other worlds, which will bring them in. Cultist investigator, 3 dice, and I control the location. Two cultists get sacrificed. I advance 2 on the summon track. So I'm up to 5 now. Mess of greens, whites, and reds, which will be. I'll go ahead and prepare a Shadow Walk, even though I think there's probably 0 chance I'm going to last to use it. Although stranger things have happened, I suppose. Now these aren't stacking for me. Oh, now we're starting to get some stackage.
See it. Thank you.
Anyway, we will draw up and find artifact to draw an artifact from the artifact deck. Then the investigators are discarding a white to move over to the ceremony. Investigator goes there. Then I'm going to use a yellow at the other worlds to move down to the streets of Arkham. Cultist, investigator. I don't need temporary control. Well, I'm going to roll for temporary control anyway, which I get. So that'll let me let me return 2 investigators to the supply. And I have to sacrifice, what is it, 1 to pull an extra investigator off? Yes, sacrifice 1 to remove an additional. So I did sacrifice. Actually, I'll sacrifice from there to pull an additional 1 off. So my lodge is clear now. Then with yellow, 2 white, and red, not preparing anything there. I'll draw a spell card, which on a yellow, I'll find a Witch's Curse. And then at the ceremony, they'll discard a blue to move up to the museum. And for my turn, I'm going to use 2 white at the, where am I? At the streets of Arkham. 2 white to move over to the gathering. Bring these 3 back. Cultist, investigator. Rolling for temporary control, which I don't get. 3 back from the abyss. 1 moved up to the other worlds. Wait. I'm going to cast Coerce the Innocent, so I have a spell slot available. That will let me move up to 2 investigators from any location or lodge to any lodges. I'm going to move these 2 to the gathering. That way I have the space in the reserve ready. Once I get this out of the way, to prepare and cast Find Artifact, so I can draw an artifact from the deck. And I will find the Scepter of the Elders. Exhaust, sacrifice a cultist from any location to flip 1 of my dice to the opposite face. Okay, that's good to know. That was it for my turn, so I'll draw a yellow. It's an Alter Fate. Then the investigators will discard a white to move to the ceremony. Then I'm going to discard. I'm going to use a yellow at the gathering to move back to the streets of Arkham. Cultist, investigator. Roll for temporary control. That's the die I was rolling. I don't get it. I'll return 2 cultists to the supply. And with that mess there, nothing I can prepare. So drawing back up. Good grief. Enlighten the Faithful. Ooh, that could be useful if I can get to a location with red, white, blue on it. So I can get back to the museum. Unfortunately, I can't get back to the museum because they're moving there. Is there somewhere else that I can get to that's got red, white, blue on it? Ugh. Well, I can. Looks like I'm going to have to use the 2 yellow for movement, which is terrible because I wanted to keep Enlighten the Faithful. I'll use that to move to the ceremony. Mostly so I get the gate card. Okay, cultist and investigator. Gaining a gate card, which, oh, here they are. They're up here. And then my winter squall again. 1, 2, 3. Discard your hand, then draw 2 cards. Move all investigators from this location to your lodge, or I become cursed. Let's put become cursed on the museum, which will destroy an investigator there. I'll put discard your hand, then draw 2 on the other worlds, and move all investigators on your lodge. I'll put that at the library. And with red, white, blue, or actually it's blue, wild, white. I'm not going to do anything there. I'll draw 2 cards, and that'll be my turn. Okay, find more garbage. Then they'll discard a white, trying to move to me. They'll move to the other worlds instead, which will trigger that. Does nothing, but more importantly, that's Ithaqua's 4th curse. 1 more and he loses. Which one of these had curse on it? That's the museum. So I definitely don't want to go there. And
that would be bad.
Look at what I've got in my... Well, I've got blue, white, and my gate.
You're at white.
I'm at white, so... Yeah. I've got 4 investigators on my lodge. So if I get raided, So I've got to be very careful. If I get raided, I could potentially end up with Ithaqua's 5th curse. So I've got to be very careful about where I go here. I think I almost have to use the gate for movement. The only question is, where am I going? I think I'm going to gamble and go to the Gathering and hope Ithaqua just doesn't roll like absolute garbage. Unfortunately, he's got 7. He's going to be getting rated with 7 dice. So this might be the end of Ithaqua's run in Christmas in Arkham this year. Don't need temporary control. 3 back from the Abyss. 1 to the other worlds. Green, yellow, I can't prepare anything there. Drawing a Sign of the Brotherhood, and then Ithaqua's got a 7 dice raid coming at him. And no help for it.
Better roll well.
No kidding. Let's see. That is 2 Elder Signs, so Ithaqua's still in it, but if he starts advancing on his summon track, he's going to end up in the same place. Fortunately for him, though, all 7 cultists do leave the lodge. I would say that's mostly nothing at this point, if I'm being honest. And moving over.
Nothing.
Let's see. What did that do? That's become cursed. So actually, I've been using that as a lose a curse, at least in solo. That way, it's not just total garbage for Ithaqua. So he's back in it ish, but it's still not looking good. Let's see. I can't move to blue. I think it's gonna be moving to red, which is going to trigger this move. Oh boy. Okay, so that's only 1 investigator. That could have been a lot worse. But cultist, investigator, and I do control the location outright, so I get to sacrifice 3 cultists. I can sacrifice a cultist to ready a spell for free. But I'll draw 3 cards first. None of which is good there. So my free spell. Actually, do I want to 1 location to an adjacent? No, I don't think I do. So I'll draw a card. And I'll be done there. Discarding a blue at the museum to try to move to the museum, but he's already there, so he moves to the other worlds instead, putting a cultist out. Then I'll discard a white. I'm surprised at how long this video's been already. Good grief. Moving over to the ceremony. Cultist, investigator. I do appreciate you staying with me tonight, though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm having a good time just watching and learning stuff, so.
Moving to the gate. I think the one thing you're probably learning tonight is that Ithaqua is not going to make it to the winners group on Saturday. Discard your hand, then draw 2.
It looks at this point rather challenging for him, but
To put it mildly.
if anyone can pull it out, I'm pretty sure it's you.
Except the spells I need are not coming up. So I put down no effect at the other worlds. Add an investigator to your lodge equal to the current level of the summon track. I'm going to put that on the gathering and dump my hand and draw 2. We'll put that at the museum. Then I get the control action, so I'll sacrifice 2 cultists to advance 1 on the summon track. Then, with 2 white, 2 green, yellow, blue, white, wild, that will be... It's going to be a massive waste because I'm wasting a lot of symbols, but an alter fate.
What's that spell do?
Alter fate is the dice mitigation. Either re-roll up to 3 of my dice once or die 3 times. So then I'll draw a spell. Cubes of Power. That's taking white and blue. When I roll, I can add 2 additional dice this turn. Discarding a yellow to move to the streets of Arkham, and I get raided immediately. Fortunately, it's only a 1 die, but if I end up with an Elder Sign, that'll be Ithaqua's 4th curse. That's a Cthulhu. So the investigator leaves. Just double checking what tokens I put down where. Okay, we're at the ceremony, so I'll use the gate card to move up to the other worlds, which triggers the no effect. Cultist, investigator. 4 dice because I control the location. Actually, 4 dice regardless because I control the location. Cthulhu's bringing the investigators back to the lodge. Which that's 3. So 3 on the summon track, 1 back to the abyss, 2 back to the lodge, 1, 2, 3 on the summon track. So Ithaqua will end up with his 4th curse, but he did get summoned. No elder signs, but 4 curses. So that's the end of group 1. And with tiebreakers, Atlach-Nacha will actually make it to the winners group from group 1 on Saturday. So
nice. Hey, all right.
Took us a little less than 2.5 hours, but I think some of that was just you. Well, some of that was a lot of that, I think, was you learning the game.
Yeah, it's true. I slowed things down, but
so
I mean, you normally run 3 back to back to back, and it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours, right?
Usually about an hour and a half.
Yeah,
but that'll do it for this first playthrough of Fate of the Elder Gods. Tomorrow at some point we're going to do group 2 of this tournament, and we've got a lot of stuff coming up because I am now officially off for 2025. I don't go back to work until January 2nd of 26. I'm not going to announce absolutely everything coming up on the channel, but there's going to be plenty of stuff coming up. What do you have coming up on your channel?
Oh, wow. I don't even know. I've got, I'm off till Monday work. So I've got 4 days. I'm not like you. I don't get to take a month off. But I got 4 days, and I had today off, and I did 6 videos. So I probably a lot of things. I've got a couple unboxings from some things. And whenever I decide to play, I don't know.
I'm sure I'll be playing something tomorrow morning. I just haven't decided what yet, and I've got a few unboxings I've got to get to myself. But a lot of stuff coming up on the channel. As far as what's scheduled on my channel is concerned, Saturday, Mystical Munchies will conclude out of the unofficial Harry Potter cookbook with the dessert, Any Nut Nut Brittle. I did it out of order because I was traveling last Saturday. Sunday morning, we'll be back for Christmas in Arkham proper to start with Elder Horror against the winner of the winners group on Saturday. And I think that's it I've got scheduled right now. Thank you for watching this video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.